Let me explain what we're looking for, and then you can decide whether we can continue. Okay? A nod from Noonan. He peered at her closely, seldom blinking, and not looking at Priest at all. Okay, we believe that Hilgendorf... Can I just call him that? A nod from Noonan. Right. So we believe that Hilgendorf might have had a collection of art and other things, a satchel or notebook, perhaps a leather case. He might have told you about this in the process of his confession. She paused. I don't want to know about his confession or whether he admitted to obtaining such a thing illegally. I just want to know whether Hilgendorf spoke of such a collection of art. Noonan nodded, then pointed his left index finger at the wall. Priest didn't know what he was indicating, so he walked over there, pointed at the sideboard in the room, the window, the curtains, each one in turn, and looking to Noonan for recognition. The old man shook his head at each thing Priest pointed at, until he laid his hand on Noonan's nylon suitcase. Priest tapped the bag several times and got nods in reply from Noonan. Rather than opening it himself, Priest brought the bag over to the patient's bed and laid it on the blanket. He didn't want to rush the process, and wanted to take every precaution to assure Noonan that he was respecting his privacy. Noonan stretched out his fingers and said, "Open the bag. Pull the zipper. Open it." Priest followed his instructions. Inside he found clothing and some wrinkled pages from a journal, and a leather-bound book with penned narratives included on the pages. He held them up for Noonan to see and got a nod of assent in reply. Priest handed the pages to Noonan, but the patient pointed to Alana, as if to tell Priest to give them to her. "I wrote these," Noonan said haltingly, pointing to a short stack of papers. Then he stopped for a breath. "I wrote these so I would have a record of what Karl Hilgendorf told me." Priest looked at the pages and knew that these would prove invaluable. They were in German but neatly written, so he was sure that Alana could easily translate them. "I also have this," Noonan said, gently tapping the bound journal. "Open it." Priest did as he was told, and saw on the first page a short inscription signed by Franitza, and he realized that he held in his hands the entire journal of the monk, the man who had researched and chronicled the path of the Paletti Notebook from its origins around 1500 to his own death in 1943. The other pages that Noonan had written would likely provide the path of the notebook from that year, 1943, until the present. It was an absolute treasure in this search for Paletti and his collection. "You will find here the information you were looking for," Noonan added, then closed his eyes.